After several hours of sleep, I often wake up believing that I am this man that I once thought I was. I awake from my dream. In the dream, my dreams have convinced me that this is all real. And the fears start fearing, the worries start worrying, the doubts start doubting. And all of those incarnations, all of those disturbances want to breathe. They want to live. They want to take over. All of those ego manifestations. They believe they have place. They believe they have substance. They believe they're solid. They want to live. They want to walk in this world. But there's another being. There's another way of being. There is a deeper being, a higher being, a broader being. There is one who is not those fears, who is not those doubts, who is not that anxiety. And this one is quiet and calm. He waits. He watches. He forgives. He realizes that this is not God's will. God is love. He realizes that his only function here is forgiveness. This is the place where the self meets the self. Little I meets the capital I am. Little self meets the big self and is forgiven. Because it is that fear, that doubt, that anxiety that is longing to come home. It's a cry for help. It's a cry for love within myself that the one being answers. And then there is only one source, the inward source, where those discursive thoughts can be forgiven. There is a Savior in this being who forgives those shallower, desperate parts. I am healed. I am whole. I am safe. This is who I am. I am light. I am forgiveness. I am true strength. I am the one who does not justify. I am the one who does not demand. I am the righteousness of God. There is nothing to worry about. There is no fear. There is no suffering. There is no lack. There is no loss. There is nowhere to go. There is nowhere to hide. There is nowhere to run to. This world, an illusion. I think I'm going to go there and get this. I think I'm going to stay here so I can get that. I think I need her so that she can fulfill my destiny. I think I need him to tell me what to do and how to be. But there is none of that. There is only this one experience. And this is where forgiveness takes place. I think the problem is you. Why don't you give me what I want? Why didn't you give me what I needed? How come the world doesn't give me the recognition that I think I deserve? How come I don't get the attention that I so desperately need? Who's going to hold me? Who's going to support me? How can that desperate one ever be satisfied? There is no desperate one. That desperation never was. It's an illusion which passes away in the presence of I am. And this is how it goes. That which was desperate, that which was fearing, that which was lonely, that which was craving, all the hungry ghosts are just that. Ghosts of no real substance. Just as your dreams are of no real substance. Neither is this dream of self, of the separate self. There is no fear. There is no lack. There is no suffering. These are all part of the illusion. And this is what the deeper self knows. This is who the deeper self is. That part of us that cannot be violated. The one that has been called the observer. That which cannot be objectified. That in us which watches an entire life pass by. Emotions like the weather. Thoughts like little white clouds that disappear in a blue sky. Everything that changes is not. Nothing that is real can be threatened, and nothing that is unreal exists. It's as simple as that. That's the whole lesson. And so, as we appear to be on this timeline, as there appears to be a past and a future, and as we seem to be moving through time, as this seems to be some kind of process, as there seems to be an evolution of consciousness, at some point we realize there is no evolution. There is only one. Just as there is no time. Time is a subjective experience. Which changes as we move in one direction or another according to our location. But there is no location. Time is not as solid as we thought it was. Neither is matter. Nothing is nearly as solid as we thought it was. This body, not nearly as solid as we thought it was. Our doubts, our fears, our worries, all dissipate, all dissolve. Yes, there is this place where the self with the little s meets the self with the big S. And this is where forgiveness happens. There is a surrender. Into love. We see through the illusion. All of your dissonance, all of your discomfort, all of your dis-ease is because you know something is not quite right. Because you understand the meaninglessness of all of this. You understand the meaninglessness of this illusion. And that's okay. You can move to the edge of the observable universe. You can hover there. You can scrape out all the meaninglessness and look into the void, look into the abyss. It's a practice. Some choose. To rid ourselves of all that has no meaning, to accept that there is no meaning. But what's behind that nightmare is a miracle. And it is the miracle of love. It's the miracle that understands that none of these words have any meaning, except that they point us to love, that which cannot be pointed to, that which cannot be known by the false self, by the ego, by the flesh, but that which can only be experienced. That which cannot be objectified. That which is, the only that is, the one that is. And so these demons are not banished. They simply are not. As the one arises in the individual who really is no individual at all, those demons of fear and doubt and anxiety and dread are forgiven and embraced and loved. And the nightmare is over, because they realize they are nothing at all. All of the big trips that we went on, all of the fixing that we tried to do, all these ego trips, ego fixing ego, ego meditating, ego praying, ego teaching, ego earning a living, ego being good, ego being bad, ego convincing others that ego loves them. All of this nightmare is over. And there is a great sigh of relief as those burdens dissipate into the nothingness that they are. And there is only one. There is one now, free, pure, holy, compassionate, generous, nurturing, kind. One being of light and love, who appears to still be in this world, whose only function is to forgive everything that seems to appear on this timeline over and over again. God is still love, and none of this is his will. There is only one goal, and that is to show those seeming others in this world that there is no separateness, there is no alienation, there is no isolation, there is only one. There is no separate self. You are not alone. You do not have to fear. You do not have to attack. You do not have to defend. And this is what the Christ was showing us. That's what the Christ has shown us. That's what the Christ mind is. This is who we are. Only love is real. We get to release everything that is not love. Is that not what we all do in the end anyway? Is this not what we long for, is freedom? Who is longing for freedom? It is not the one who longs for freedom. The one is freedom. You won't ever find freedom. Those parts of you who are desperate and suffering, those hungry ghosts, can never be satisfied. They can only be forgiven, dissolved, set free, released. This is the invitation today. All of you who labor, all of you who are heavy laden, come to me. I will give you rest. Don't worry about what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear, where you're going to sleep, who's going to love you. Don't worry. You are love. There's no problem. There was only one problem, and that problem got solved.